Fitzgerald. This is Dubai Works, where we interview the business leaders making a difference in this great city.
That business with scalability was very interesting to me.
I like building something that has legacy.
The sponsor of today's show is eVest, a digital brokerage firm founded with the vision of bringing trust and credibility to the world of online trading. eVest provides investors with better opportunities in the online trading industry, offering self-trade service with high level of security and secured global licenses. eVest offers 100% reliable stocks with zero commission. So this week, Augustus Media, our company, won an award last night at the Fast Company Media Awards for Most Innovative Media Company. We're really excited, we're really proud about that, and continue to do what we're doing every day. I know there's so many events happening at the moment in Dubai, but it's also that kind of a place that makes anything possible. I recall this meme online or this viral video that says, you think money can't buy happiness? Bibi, come to Dubai. And that's the sort of impression that people have of this city. And today's guest makes some of those things come true, specifically around wedding proposals. So it's really interesting conversation, how the proposals work and how she set up the business as well. Enjoy the conversation. Welcome back to another episode of Dubai Works Business Podcast. This week, my guest is Caroline Ralston. She's the founder of Proposal Boutique. They are the UAE's first proposal planning business, founded in 2014, after noticing a high demand for wedding planners in the region, but little to no help for men with their marriage proposals. So a unique twist on it, definitely a gap in the market. So we're going to hear all about the Proposal Boutique, the wedding industry in Dubai and the UAE, which I know a lot of people will be interested in, and then plans for the future. Good morning, Caroline.
Morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Yeah, so this is definitely sort of a fun conversation we're going to have. It's a fun industry. People will know lots about sort of wedding planning, but not necessarily the proposal side of it. So how did you come up with the idea?
So in 2013, my now husband took me to New York. We were already living in Dubai, but he took me to New York for an incredible 4-day marriage proposal. And it was everything that a girl dreams of. He'd incorporated about everything that I told him, from my childhood memories, our whole dating relationship. He'd incorporated lots of different elements. I'd always wanted that New York Christmassy proposal. And he made all my dreams come true. And then when I came back to Dubai, I was sharing my proposal story with anyone that would listen, all my friends, all my family. And they were just saying, this is so amazing. It's so romantic. I wish I had a proposal like that. And at the time I was flying for Emirates as cabin crew. So you meet lots of different people every single flight. And I just became known in the cabin crew world as the girl with the big proposal. So then I started helping colleagues with their proposal. And I went online and I was like, someone must be doing this in Dubai. There must be someone helping guys with their Dubai proposals. And I couldn't believe that no one was doing it already. Obviously, in Dubai, we have a huge wedding industry. So that's when I decided that there's a gap in the market and I decided to fill that gap.
Brilliant. And it sounds simple enough, but once you started thinking and planning it, there must have been a lot that you needed to cover. So what are the services that you offer?
Yep. So we do everything, a full A to Z for our clients, whether it's booking hotels and then we find the venues for them. We do idea creation. So we send our clients a very detailed consultation form to find out more about their relationship, what she likes, what he likes, the kind of setting that they'd like. Then we find venues for them. Then we do decoration, flowers, fireworks, musicians, photographers.
Has to be the fireworks.
Drones, yeah, everything. Whatever they
Really?
want, we take full control. So the client doesn't deal with anyone except for us, but we deal with lots of different elements on their behalf.
Do you help with the rings?
Everything. Yeah, we even help with their speech.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The speech where they ask them, oh, no way.
Yeah.
And do you price that? Like, is there a package fee, or do you go, okay, this person wants this, and is it all custom and bespoke?
Yeah, so everything's super personalized. But obviously we do have clients that see something on our Instagram and they like to click and buy.
Yeah.
So they say, I want that exact
that one.
setup. But that isn't why I set up the business. I want every woman to have a proposal like I had. I want it to be really unique, really personal, and for her to know how much he has listened over the years and how much he knows about her. So then we do add-ons like a memory lane carpet, for example, where instead of a long red carpet, there'll be photographs and like a love story that they walk over. So that's one option. And there's lots of different ways that we work with the guy to add on those personal elements for him.
Interesting. Brilliant. So many, when listening to you talk, I have so many questions about marriages and things like that related to proposals. But before we get there, so is your husband involved in the business?
Yeah, unofficially.
Unofficially.
Yeah, so
he was the creative behind the first one. So
yeah, but because we like to work together and bounce ideas off. So even though he's not involved in the business on a day-to-day basis, me and the team will brainstorm throughout the day. Then I'll go home at the end of the day and I'll be like, I've got this idea. It's amazing. And he kind of streamlines it, thinks about the practical elements, because sometimes it can be so dreamy, the ideas that we have in the team. And he's just the one to kind of say, okay, this is how we'll get that working.
Okay. And he did the New York one himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is how the idea started. So there were a few proposal planners in the US. So he reached out to them for help, but there was no personal service from them. It was very much a catalogue of 5 ideas. And he actually he knows that I hate public displays of affection. So he wanted something very private. And I always wanted a Central Park proposal filled with candles. So he contacted a proposal planner there and they just weren't willing to help him. They were like, no, it's not in our catalogue. We can't help you. So he ended up contacting the mayor of New York to get permits for this. And he hired 2 kind of bouncers.
That Bloomberg or someone at the time?
I can't remember who it was, but yeah, he made these contacts and he was just so stressed trying to, find the contacts to close off part of Central Park. And then he had to hire another separate security team that would make sure no one would go into that area.
Crazy.
Yeah. Then he hired another company that would install the candles for him. So he was really, really stressed. I mean, I didn't realize until afterwards. And then I was like, oh yeah, that explains why you were so weird that night. But now that's what I do. I help men, whatever their idea is. I'm like, yes, we'll make it work. In some way or another, we'll make it work. And then I do all that planning for them.
Even technically to close off part of Central Park and put the candles in, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, honestly, it took him so long to plan it. He's very romantic and he knew that that's what I wanted. So he was just, going Crazy. For it.
Interesting. So when you set up the business, had you a background in anything like this before, as you were working with Emirates? Did you know anything about the wedding planning industry or anything like that before?
Yep. So I studied tourism management at university. I had a first class degree and that was in management as well. So that definitely helped with the business side. And then obviously my time with Emirates Crew, I was also private jet as well. So I worked first class for a long time and I was used to working with high profile clients that have really high expectations. And obviously when you're at 40,000 feet, you can't ever tell a client no. You can't ever tell a passenger no. So I kind of learned how to be creative, how to think outside the box. And that definitely put me in good stead for setting up the business because a lot of our clients have extremely high expectations.
Yeah, amazing. So those significant experiences, the what you studied and the career that you had, came up with perfectly work for something that didn't exist before.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it was custom for a career. It was perfect for you. And talk a little bit about your clientele. Obviously we often see sort of glamorous proposals. Like with Love in Dubai, we get shared these videos all the time. Post my wedding proposal, like all this sort of stuff. But some of them are really, really good. Do you help with those ones? And like, what's the kind of most creative or the most common proposals that you do?
So we've planned over 1,000 proposals now in the last 8 years. Some are incredible for very high profile football stars. But obviously we're not able to showcase a lot of what we do due to our NDAs with our clients. But obviously we've done huge, big proposals. We have a big market, that come over from Taiwan, and they love flash mobs and drones. And we had one gentleman that proposed over 3 days with 3 different rings, a flash mob, an underwater proposal, a helicopter. So it was, multiple levels of proposals. So they're always great fun to plan. But I mean, we always try to make it so that it's tailored to our girl at the end of the day. So if a gentleman contacts us, and he has, say, for example, he wants a beach proposal with fireworks and dancers and things, we always say, that's what you'd love. That's great. But what actually does your girlfriend want? First of all, does she love the beach? Because if she doesn't want the beach, then we need to tailor to another idea. So we really work with him to make it unique for her.
It's amazing. It kind of really takes the stress away, on the planning side of it, obviously. And so 1,000 proposals, that's amazing. Did it happen, your first client, and how did you build the business from there? What sort of license did you get to do this work?
Yep. So I'm licensed through Fujairah Free Zone. That's who I've been licensed with from the beginning. I think when you're starting out a company, obviously you don't know if it's going to be a success. I was creating a whole new industry. It had never been done before. I didn't know if it would take off in Dubai. Luckily it did, but obviously I went through a creative zone license for that. And then, it just kind of snowballed from there. I actually developed the website myself. When I realized that it was the business I wanted to do, I taught myself website development because I didn't have any money to invest in a developer. I started setting up a Facebook page. And then after about 3 months, when the website was ready, I launched it, and I launched it through Facebook. And that same day I had my first client. Wow. And I remember I was in Mall of Emirates, and I got a call on my mobile, and he was like, I want to propose tomorrow. And I was thinking, how does he know about me? But it was just because I'd posted on a Facebook blog, and he was my first client. So I knew then that it was going to work.
And you got it ready by the next day?
Yeah, always. It was actually in the Dubai fountains on the lake, the private Abra. We hired one of those and decorated it for him.
Wow.
So
in 24 hours, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah, but most companies that I speak to, obviously it's a really long slog trying to get your first client. So I was just very, very lucky. And it took off from there. And
it's the kind of business as well. Like obviously people starting their own business need to look at the costs and things like that. But apart from the sort of official things that you need to do, such as licensing and activities, it's not a capital intense business. It's a service business. So, it's kind of like being paid by the hour in a way that, your brain power and your ability. But then how do you go on from there? How do you sort of scale it? Like you were here in the podcast now, who's working at, what sort of team do you have and what sort of skills do you bring on board? Yep.
So the business was very small for a very long time. I was really setting it up out of passion. I wasn't thinking about making millions in my first year. I was really doing it for the love. And because of that, obviously it wasn't very profitable. Now I have more of a management head on me, and I have goals that I set, and I have a team that, that we work towards that as one. So until about 4 years ago, it was just myself. And then I was converting the clients. So I was working with the clients, making all the bookings, making all the plans for them. And then I would be there on the night to coordinate it. But obviously that became too much. I then needed help. So what I would then do was I was doing the proposal planning side of it. So still working with the clients. And then I would pass on the proposal plan to coordinators. So I now have 6 proposal coordinators. They're sent a job sheet, so they know exactly what decoration the gentleman wants. They know about the venues. They would know all the supplier contacts, and they're there on the night to coordinate the whole proposal. But now I have a full-time creative director. So now I take a full CEO role in the business, looking at, strategies. The creative director works with all our clients to do all the proposal planning, and then she passes it over to our proposal coordinators. So yeah, that's how that works. And then now I have a full-time PR company with Tish Tash, who are incredible. They're really getting us out there. We've been featured in Harper's Bazaar and Vogue. And now I have a full-time social media girl as well.
Brilliant.
So all areas covered.
Everything covered. So what's the size of the team?
So there's now 6 of us, 6 full-timers, and we have 2 freelance proposal coordinators as well that we take on for really peak times, which will start from this month.
I was going to ask about that. So is your business seasonal?
Yeah, it is very seasonal. So 98% of our clients are from overseas. So obviously the tourist season now is kicking off in Dubai. So that's when we're at our busiest. So usually from September to April is when we're super busy. And then in the hotter months, that's when we're now international as well. So we plan proposals in London, Singapore. So we tend to do more of our proposals there. Or we do smaller like inside decorations in Dubai. So we do hotel proposal setups.
Interesting. So I didn't really know that, obviously people would come to Dubai for the honeymoon, but we didn't realize that there was an industry for people to come here to propose. That's the thing, obviously.
Yeah, we've put it on the map completely. Yeah, in the beginning when I set it up, I was like, New York is number 1, Paris is number 2, Dubai needs to be number 1. And I'm absolutely determined to make Dubai the number 1 destination for proposals. It's incredible. We've got everything here. So any idea is doable. And that's what I love about Dubai. There's always someone that is willing to make a dream come true, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. And so the 98% from abroad, what about the local market? Like, is that an awareness thing, or do those people also travel, or, talk about the makeup of proposals? Like, obviously the majority of proposals don't hire a service to do a proposal. Do you have any statistics around that? Or
no, I'm not sure how many proposals happen on a day-to-day, but obviously we go on Instagram a lot and we see things that are happening and we're like, oh my gosh, someone proposed on the beach and there was a man wearing really short swim shorts behind them. If they'd have hired us, we would have made sure they had a private area rather than this guy being in the background. But yeah, we do our local proposals as well. Again, these are very different. Sometimes they'll prefer to do a simple setup in their villas, but then a lot of our clients still want that Hollywood proposal. So they tend to do a small proposal at home with their family, then have the wedding. And then after the wedding, they'll do their proposal again. And it'll be the big Hollywood one where it's on the beach in front of the Burj Al Arab or on a rooftop, in front of the Burj Khalifa. So everyone, everyone is still getting those big proposals, no matter what nationality or background, because we're all used to seeing these romantic movies.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But, just talking about the type of business that it is, because the majority of your clients don't know that they're clients per se, and you don't have competitors. So say if there's 100 weddings, maybe, I'm throwing out numbers, maybe 90% of those people might think that they're just going to do a proposal themselves. And as you said, they might do the wedding planning themselves with a wedding planner, but they might do the proposal themselves. So you have to sort of get awareness and show them your services. And then knowing that they're a one-time client, you can't retain them.
Yes.
Unlikely, unless, they propose a few times. But, so how do you sort of plan for that type of business?
Yes. So that is actually a challenge that we're facing at the moment, because it's that challenge of a business. It's great if you're selling cosmetics, for example, because you know that you're going to constantly get that repeat business. Ours is very different. So the next logical step is then to plan their weddings. Yeah. And that's the route that we started taking. It's a route that lots of people say that we should do, but I still want to remain niche. I still want to just do proposals because that's what sets us apart. We're not an event planner. We are a dedicated proposal planner. And obviously the market is completely different from weddings. Now we deal with one man. But weddings, you'll deal with a woman, you'll deal with lots of other different elements. But we want to partner now with big wedding planners so that we can still carry on that milestone moment for our couple. But we also have an incredible CRM system. So every client is tracked in it. We know we have the best relationship because we're always on WhatsApp. We're doing calls. It's a very strong relationship that we build with them. So every time they come back to Dubai, we do like romantic room decoration. We book their dates. Maybe they just want to hire a Bentley that will take them around Dubai for 5 days, then we take care of that for them. So that's when the concierge element comes into play for them.
Amazing.
We book romantic dinners. So yeah, that's how we're trying to go rather than going down the traditional wedding planning route.
And even with your tourism planning background as well, or management, you could plan holidays for people and things like that as well. Honeymoons, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the start of those milestone moments. And I love tracking travel trends. I love knowing what nationalities come in when, what kind of proposals they like. So we change our strategy, what goes online to tailor to these people. So it's very exciting.
And what are the different preferences? You kind of mentioned private weddings for proposals versus personal ones, but wedding proposals are different in different cultures. Some are even more traditional, where there isn't the man doesn't actually propose; it's done through families and things like that. How do you factor those types of behavior and traditions into what you offer?
Yeah, I mean, we're open to anything. And that's why it's so important that we have an initial 20-minute Zoom consultation with every single client. Sometimes we work with their parents, sometimes their sister. It works in many different ways. It used to be up until about 4 years ago, that it would 100%, we would deal with the man that was proposing. But now it can be friends of friends, sisters. So yeah, we're ready to take any challenge. But yeah, every proposal is different. And whether the family's planning it, whether they want something public or at home, private, yeah, we do anything.
And is there price ranges? If this is something new that, obviously weddings can be expensive and can be a burden on young couples, but if this is something new, do people have a budget? Do they have an idea of what it might cost? Or do they sort of, obviously, like, they might know the cost of a restaurant or a hotel, but how much should they budget for something like this? I
mean, for us, you're paying for a really personalized service. We offer proposals that are above and beyond. If they want to just do it in a restaurant, then we always say, you don't need to hire a proposal planner because there's nothing else that we can offer you. So obviously every single proposal is worked on a custom budget. Our average proposal starts from about 40,000 dirhams. But obviously, depending on the season, we work with clients' budgets, depending on what they want.
What's my next question going to be? What's the most expensive proposal that you've done?
$1 million is the client that we're working with now. Yeah.
Whoa. And what did they get for that?
So for that, they get 500 drones and they get a singer that we're bringing in from Egypt. Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. $1 million for a proposal. Wonder what the wedding will be like. But that's interesting. But, so the 40,000 dirhams, because there's lots of things that go involved in it, and is there, is the surprise element important and confidentiality?
So surprise as in surprise.
The female not knowing.
Yeah. So a lot of our females, actually, we're having a lot of women that are planning their own proposals at the minute, but they do all the planning and then the gentleman still pays.
Yeah.
So, which is good. That's what we approve
some
of.
Part of the tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But on the night, she still wants that surprise element.
Yeah.
So it's and even though she did all the planning, she knew that it was coming because we all want that. And every speech is different. But yeah, we work with our clients. We'll collect the ring for them beforehand. We guide them. We give them a full detailed 2-page itinerary of proposals, what to do, what not to do, how to remain calm. We tell them, where to stand, how to be cool on the day to make sure that she's not expecting anything. And it works perfectly. The girls always say to us, I had no idea it was happening. Where was the ring? And we've got the ring stashed away.
Brilliant. And what about the advice for the guy if the girl says no? Do you help with that?
We have 100% success rate. So yeah,
really?
100%.
1,000 proposals and the female's never said no.
We had a guy that changed his mind at the very last minute. We'd actually rented out the entire Rugby Sevens stadium. The Sevens stadium, and he wanted us to lay out hundreds of meters of fabric to spell, "Will you marry me?" So that took the whole team 4.5 hours to do. And he was an hour and a half away, and he said, "Look, I've got cold feet. I don't think I can go through with it." And this is very common for our clients. A lot of men will contact us a few days before and say, "I'm not sure." So we calm them down, we not talk them round, but we calm their nerves. And we're like, "You've got nothing to worry about." And it all goes fine on the day. Yeah. But for this gentleman, obviously there was no time. He was literally in the limousine with it. And I was like, "Oh no, I think she's going to say no. So let's change the plan." Luckily, it was Valentine's Day. So we quickly ripped up all the fabric and we put down Be My Valentine instead. And we were like, "You're going to have to tell the limo driver to do a couple of laps in Dubai because it's going to take us another hour to do this." And then they had a beautiful candlelit dinner in the middle of the stadium. And he went down on one knee anyway and proposed. Yeah. So it all went well. But
that's interesting dynamics, isn't it? Like that you're offering a service to make something special, but there's that human psychology. The guy is going to be nervous and have doubts. So you need to be there for that as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And this is why I love WhatsApp so much. We only started using WhatsApp in our business about 2 years ago, but it's great. Like they're constantly on the phone with us and they're, "Oh God, I'm really worried." And we're able to calm the nerves. We send them video notes, voice notes. So it really helps them. And it takes that personal, service to the next level, which is what it's all about.
Do you have a centralized WhatsApp dashboard? Or do you just do it on the business account?
Just on a business account, but that's interesting that you said that.
But one person, so only 2 people can have access to it. But okay. Yeah, interesting. So talking a little bit more about, I liked what you said earlier about Dubai. Dubai always wants to be on the map as a tourism destination. There was some statistic recently that said the most TikTok tags in the world were from the city. So, definitely like from a tourism point of view and from being number one in proposals, you kind of align with what Dubai is trying to achieve as well. Is that how you see, the wedding sort of industry here? Do you see that it growing and becoming more popular?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Dubai is promoting happiness, and that's what we do. That's our vision statement is, promoting happiness. And Dubai, we're working with Dubai Tourism now as well, because they really want to make Dubai the destination for destination weddings. And obviously Proposal Boutique are at the forefront of that, because people come here for their marriage proposals from all over the world. So it makes sense that you've built that affinity, that love for Dubai. It's part of your relationship milestone. So it makes sense that those couples would want to come back for their wedding. And like I said, Dubai is so central to everywhere. Families are spread all across the world. So Dubai is in the center of everything. So we have lots of US clients that have family in India. So Dubai is that perfect hub. Same for Europeans that have got family in Australia as well. So yeah, I think Dubai wedding industry is just going to keep increasing for destination weddings.
Interesting. And in terms of access, do you treat everything as a case by case, or do you build relationships with venues and even the police and the RTA to pull off some stunts? Or, often we see, say, the helipad at the Burj Al Arab, they don't want that to be known as a rent a room sort of thing. And we've posted about proposals on the Burj Al Arab, and they've rung us up and said, "Oh, we don't want that to be known that you can do that," that type of thing. So do you have to have extra relationships with certain venues?
Yeah. I mean, 90% of my job is building relationships on a day-to-day basis with hotels and vendors. So obviously we have preferred vendors, like we're partnered with the Address properties. So we work closely with them to cover all their properties. And yeah, and obviously Shangri-La is another popular one for us because it's got the rooftop terrace, but we're always trying to find new venues. So now I had a meeting with Alseeve Heritage Hotel because I think that's such an amazing, location, and they've never done proposals there before. So I always want to be on top and at the forefront of finding our clients incredible new and amazing locations for their proposals. But yeah, we also work with the Burj Al Arab a lot, and we always get requests for the helipad, but they're very specific on who they want to have it. And that's what's so interesting. We love a challenge.
They keep it exclusive.
Yeah.
Interesting. You started in 2014 and it built over 4 years. And during the pandemic, did you have to do proposals then? Did you do some over Zoom? How did that work?
We did Zoom proposals. Yeah. I don't like Zoom. I don't like Zoom at all. But yeah, we did a couple of them, but we actually turned our business into postbox proposals. So we actually
nice.
delivered them to the apartment or to the villa that they were staying in. We gave our clients a step-by-step instruction of how to do the setup. We were there on Zoom or WhatsApp calls with them to show them, you put your candles here, you do the flower arch like this. And we did it. Yeah, we did it that way. So it was interesting adapting. We did lots of hotel decoration as well at that point. But we used that time to strategize for when things got back to normal.
Which they have, thankfully.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we talked earlier about, the other services that you could provide, but what about wedding planners? Like, surely they offer proposal services, or do they?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of wedding planners that do proposals as well. But again, this is what sets us apart from everyone. We're completely dedicated to proposals. We work with men on a day-to-day basis. We know exactly the questions that they've got in their minds. So we're ready with answers and responses for them immediately. We've done just about every proposal that you can do. So yeah, we've got that experience.
What do you think, Caroline, is missing in Dubai in your industry? We know that there's great hotels. We know that there's wedding planners. We know that there's everything you can think of in terms of services, musicians, flowers, all that sort of stuff. Is there anything that's sort of missing here?
Yes, every single hotel in Dubai needs to have a rooftop terrace. Rooftops and beaches are the most popular. Everyone wants either a beach or a rooftop with a view. So I can see the Burj Khalifa, and I've gone around every single hotel around, and there's wasted spaces, just random AC units on top of these rooftops. So please, if you're a hotel listening, please get rooftop spaces.
Interesting. Like other cities, like have rooftops as part of their sort of, F&B hospitality industry, isn't it? Like even just for parties and things like that. But I think, in the areas you're talking about, I remember getting permits for those buildings to shoot from the rooftops, and it's very, very hard. Like it's very hard to get up there. And yeah, when you get up there, they're just kind of, it's definitely not something that you could turn into a hospitality space. Like it's all sort of dusty, and there's bricks and units everywhere and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's missing. But apart from that, you think that Dubai, from a service industry, is on par with anywhere else?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of our clients that come here have already been here for business in the past. So they've seen how amazing it is. They've driven down Sheikh Zayed Road. They've been to DIFC restaurants and had the best food and the best service in the world. So this is why they want to come back to Dubai for their proposal. I mean, the service and the restaurants that we've got are incredible. So Dubai, really, this is why it's going to be the number one destination for proposals.
So what you've got is unique because it's kind of a part of what Dubai has to offer, that sea, everything, like even ski slopes and beautiful malls, and now even more boutique hotels and things like that. How important is Dubai to Proposal Boutique, or is it your services that you think is unique and that can work anywhere in the world?
So, yeah, I mean, proposals will be anywhere in the world. Everyone proposes every day in every single country of the world. But Dubai is just that next level of special, isn't it? It's got something that nowhere else has. But I mean, the proposal industry now is huge thanks to social media. So people want those big, elaborate marriage proposals.
Speaking of social media, what do you offer? Do you bring a videographer, and what's the sort of you know, like if you're a wedding planner, you'd have a photographer and they produce a book or a movie. Do you produce something that's documented as well?
Yes, so we have lots of different options. We really encourage our clients to have a photographer or videographer, and we offer lots of different packages, whether it's cinematography, videography, reel packages, whatever they want, whatever form of social media they're on, we develop a package for that as well.
It's all about reels now, isn't it?
It is. Everyone loves
TikTok,
a reel. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you know, we see amazing sort of. I'm just thinking about Chris Faye's a friend who obviously is on the radio, but he had Will Smith help with his proposal,
yes,
and they documented like that. But I think he planned it, but he had Will Smith sort of put the ring out for Brianna, and now he's on this show Dubai Bling. Do you think that those type of shows and these type of things will attract even more people to put Dubai on the map for your services and others?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, this is what showcases Dubai, all the glitz and the glamour and, you know, this high flying life. I mean, everyone wants a piece of that. So this is why, people want big elaborate proposals in Dubai.
Amazing. So we're coming sort of the end of 2022. You know, there's talks of there's macro factors, economy, and there's oil prices and the high dollar. But yet we're coming into a busy sort of season for you. How do you sort of plan ahead when you're running this business? Do you take it year on year, or do you look to the future?
Yeah, we look to the future, definitely. We're looking at trends. So we know that drone proposals, for example, are taking off. We're also looking at metaverse and things. So we're planning lots that way. And again, with financial crisis and things that happen around the world, that's when we take our business on a more day-to-day basis. So that's why it's really personalized. And if someone's got a small budget, but an incredible idea, and we've not got any proposals on that week, then of course, we take that client on. So we really try to make everyone's proposal dream come true.
And yeah, that's interesting. So just take both of those trends that you mentioned. So drones, do you buy your own drones? How do you get the licenses? Do you have to do it for each event?
Yeah, so it's complicated. Like anything in Dubai, when we do our helicopters, we have helicopters that pick our clients up from a desert resort, for example, and take them to their proposal location. So for that, the permits that you need are vast. The paperwork takes a long time. You need permission from the CAA. And it's the same with drones. It's very limited in Dubai. And that's why it's very expensive, because of all the different permits. The same when we hire musicians as well. You need permits for that. So, but anything's possible. We just need time. And obviously you need a budget for that as well.
And you don't cut corners. You always get the right permits. So
yes.
absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And we always work with the best suppliers that we know. There's nothing worse than, say, a client spending $500,000 on a drone proposal and 500 of the drones, and you've got 250 drones that are not working on the day. So we work with the best suppliers that are trusted, that have amazing reviews, and that we can trust, because that proposal is over in minutes. So it has to be perfect. And we have so many backup plans and contingencies in place. So if, for example, if someone wants a drone proposal on a beach at Al Qasr and it's windy and it's raining, then we've got another venue backup for that. So
yeah,
we're always ready.
And the second part of the trend, you mentioned the metaverse. Have people done metaverse proposals? Is that something that's coming up?
There's been a metaverse wedding. So yeah, we're hoping to do some metaverse proposals in the future, which is something we're working on now, which will be really exciting.
Definitely. Going back to some of the stunts, I remember a story covered about a year and a half ago of a gender reveal on Burj Khalifa.
Oh, yeah.
That got a lot of controversy. Or people were saying, why are you doing that? But then have you had proposals on the Burj?
We've had proposals in the Burj Khalifa,
or
on the Burj
on
Khalifa.
The Burj.
No, we've never done one down there. It's something that I really want to do. Yeah, I know that Coca-Cola did one. Yeah. They're about 500,000 dirhams. So yeah, if we've got a client for that, that would be incredible. But again, because it's already been done, then there's better ways to spend that 500,000.
You always
that
want to
hasn't
do it
been
unique.
done. Yeah, exactly. When you've got that kind of budget. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so what else have you planned as well for your business, or where do you see it in a few years? Is it something that's a passion project that you want to continue doing as long as you want? As long as you can?
Yes, definitely. I want it to continue. I want it to continue growing in Dubai. I also want to strengthen our international proposals. So obviously 98% of our clients now are from overseas, but there's a huge number of men in Dubai that have got massive disposable income, but because they live here, they don't necessarily want to get proposed to here, or they don't want to propose here. So they tend to go to the Maldives, Paris, Singapore, for example. So I want to do a really personalized service for them here so that they deal with us on a day-to-day basis. They get to have one-to-one meetings, and then we do their planning of their proposal internationally.
Okay. So say if someone's thinking of proposing soon, or proposing, like how do you, if they're listening to this, depending on what they want, but when's the best time to sort of get in touch? What sort of is your ideal brief of lead time?
I mean, an ideal brief would be 3 months, but we have clients now that are WhatsApping us this morning that want to propose tomorrow and tonight. So we're used to very short lead time, so we can turn anything round. We've got a team, that are incredible. Like I said before, we love a challenge. Nothing is impossible. So we can plan proposals that same day.
Yeah, brilliant. But that 3 month would be good if you was thinking about it. Cool. Yeah. And then with New Year's, obviously New Year's in general is a big sort of proposal and festive periods. Do you have more resources available at that time? And is it harder to plan a proposal on New Year's Eve? Yeah,
New Year's is really, really challenging. Obviously, again, people want that rooftop with the Burj Khalifa view. Yeah. So straight away, although the limited rooftops that we have, they're all booked for gala events. So booking those exclusively is like 10 times more than what it would be normally. So that's the first challenge. Another challenge is our clients get into these venues on New Year's because roads close hours before, and everyone wants to see the Burj Khalifa fireworks. So if they're having a proposal on New Year's Eve and we're planning it now, we just logistically need to be really smart with how we go about that. We don't encourage New Year's Eve proposals. We always say to our clients, it's quite predictable. It's highly stressful for you. So if you can add, same as with Valentine's Day, we love Valentine's proposals, but the chances are they're going to know that something's going to happen. So we say try to do it a day or two earlier or afterwards. Okay. And then the prices come down, the logistics are easier for the client, especially for New Year's. And it just adds that extra element, because if the girl is thinking, oh, he's going to propose, she's going to think it's going to be at those key times. So when he doesn't, and he does it a few days later, it's an extra element.
That's good advice in general, I think. But with the New Year's, but could you do it at a venue? Does it have to be closed off? Like, could you do it at a gala dinner where there's other guests?
Yeah, you could. But a lot of our clients want something super private. And you don't know that there's not going to be 3 other men around that are going to be doing a proposal as well. So if you want to propose on New Year's Eve and you're happy with observers and maybe another proposal happening on a table next to you, then definitely go ahead. But if not, then we suggest hiring a private area.
Are there any people who ask for, I want this covered afterwards in the media. I want some attention. Like, I put this money in. I want to go viral. Do they say that to you?
Yeah, we have a lot of gentlemen that contact us wanting that, but they still tend to want that private moment because they know that also they're uncomfortable with the Dubai rules. They don't want public displays of affection. They don't want to be kissing and offending other people. So they still want that private moment. Then they want us to hire the photography and video team and make them go viral that way. Yeah.
That's interesting. That reminds me of another story. I think someone sent us their proposal and a few days later, I forget why, but they asked us to take it down. Oh, something.
She said no, she changed her mind. Maybe.
No, it worked. They got married, but there was just something technical about that. Maybe permissions, or maybe it was a sensitive time. I'm not sure, but these things can change, can't they?
Yeah.
People don't know the comments and the buzz that happens on the back of something. They mightn't be ready for it or whatever.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. And there was another one where the comments weren't nice, judgmental on one of the individuals. And it's sort of, they're trying to create a special moment, and then there's haters in the comments and things like that.
Yeah, this is the problem. This is what I see a lot when I'm looking through TikTok and things. Some of the comments, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It should be more safer environments online for that type of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Caroline, pleasure talking to you today. It's been
you.
a really fun interview. I'm sure people will get a lot out of it, and well done with what you've achieved.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. What a great story. What a great business story. It shows what can be done in Dubai on all levels. Really interesting insights from Caroline. And I'm sure that passion that she has for staying true to what she's doing will take her and the business far in the future. Big thank you to Shahir and Ali, who produced this show. Thank you to eVest, our sponsors, as well. Without them, the show wouldn't be possible. This show goes out on Apple, Angami, and any other podcast app. It's also streamed on Smashy.tv. You do have to pay for this video streaming service, but you can watch the video clips on Smashy for free. It's available on iOS, Android, mobile devices, but also on most smart TV devices as well. Next week, we'll be back with another episode. If you like any of these interviews, if you know someone who has a great business story and you would like them to be on the show, please do get in touch. We tend to book sort of 3-4 months in advance, but we always looking for interesting stories. And we'll be back next week with another episode, 11 o'clock on Friday.